The Galactic Council Hall was one of the largest structures in the galaxy. It was built on a floating station above a blue star, and thousands of lights shined inside its massive chamber. Today, every seat was filled. Every species with power, pride, or fear had come. They wanted only one thing: the humans' new technology. No meeting in the last 100 years had created this much tension. Even the air felt heavy. Council guards stood ready. Translators hummed quietly. Every species seemed to whisper the same questions. Will the humans agree today? Will they give us the new tech? What are they hiding? Everyone knew humans had grown stronger faster than any other species. In just a few years, they had upgraded their ships, discovered strange energy sources, and created devices that shocked every scientist in the galaxy. Rumors said human engineers could turn weak metal into shields that blocked lasers. People said human scientists had found a way to heal entire planets. Some even whispered humans had built engines that ignored gravity. No proof existed, but the rumors alone were enough to make the council hungry, and scared. The hall grew silent as the doors opened. The human ambassador entered slowly, walking alone, without guards, without advisors, without fear. He wore a plain black suit with no symbols. He looked calm, almost too calm, like he knew something no one else knew. Every alien eye in the chamber followed him. He reached the center table and placed a small black case on it. The case was smooth and silent, with no lights, no locks, nothing special. But the moment it touched the table, half the council leaned forward. They thought this was it, the secret human technology. A soft voice from the council leadership asked, "Ambassador, have the humans decided to share their advancements?" The ambassador did not answer. He simply opened the case. The entire hall held its breath. Inside the case was not a device. Not a weapon. Not a blueprint. It was only a simple data crystal. A single clear crystal. The council members looked confused. Some even laughed softly, thinking this was just a dramatic start. The ambassador pushed the crystal forward. "This," he said, "is our official response." The council leader picked up the crystal and activated it. A short message appeared above the table in large glowing letters. "Request denied." The whole chamber froze. Silence filled the air like cold smoke. No one moved. No one breathed. No one expected this. A soft clicking sound came from one of the reptilian delegates. It was the sound of shock. Another species let out a nervous hiss. Several leaders stared at the humans with disbelief. Their minds raced with anger, confusion, and fear. "Denied," someone shouted. "Humans dare refuse the entire council. This is an insult. They cannot keep such technology for themselves." The voices grew louder, more aggressive, more dangerous. But the human ambassador remained still, like a stone in a storm. One council member, a tall glowing creature, pointed at him. "Why deny us? Why refuse what is meant for all the galaxy?" The ambassador looked around the room slowly. His face was calm, but his eyes held something darker. Not pride. Not arrogance. Something else. "You are not ready for it," he said. The words spread through the chamber like fire. Delegates burst into arguments. Some shouted that humans were selfish. Others said humans planned to take control of the galaxy. A few feared war. "Not ready," the council leader repeated. "Explain, human. What do you mean?" But the ambassador did not explain. He only closed the black case and folded his hands. "Our decision is final." This calm answer made everything worse. Spies in the room looked at each other. Generals reached for their communication devices. Several species whispered about secret plans already forming. The humans had created a storm by saying only 3 simple words: "Not ready yet." The council demanded more answers. "Are you hiding a new weapon? No. Are you planning war? No. Then why refuse us? Because you misunderstand the danger. The last word, danger, made the hall silent once again. Danger? What danger? What did humans know that the council did not? A cold fear touched the minds of every species. For the first time, the humans did not look like powerful allies or unpredictable newcomers. They looked like a species carrying a secret too heavy to share. A secret that made even them afraid. The ambassador slowly stood up. His voice was calm, but it carried a warning that chilled everyone. Sharing this technology now would harm all of you. The galaxy is not prepared for what is coming. What is coming? Someone whispered. The ambassador did not answer. He simply turned and walked out of the chamber, leaving a room full of panic, fear, and confusion behind him. Every species watched him go, and one thought echoed across the hall. What do the humans know? And why are they preparing in silence? The council no longer wanted the technology, they wanted the truth. They wanted to know what threat was big enough that humans would rather anger the entire galaxy than share their inventions. But the humans had given nothing. Only a warning. And a door silently closing behind them. The moment the human ambassador left the hall, the Galactic Council broke into chaos. Voices overlapped, alarms rang, and translators struggled to keep up. No one had expected the humans to walk out so calmly after dropping such a dangerous message. Every species felt the same sharp fear in their hearts. What danger? What did they discover? Why would they refuse all of us? Are we in trouble? The council leader, a tall creature with flowing silver skin, tried to restore order. But the panic was too strong, too deep. Delegates shouted and argued like frightened animals. They are hiding a weapon, one reptile said. They plan to attack us, a flying species screeched. No, they are protecting something, shouted another. Even the council guards exchanged nervous looks. Humans were unpredictable, yes, but this was something new. Humans were scared of something. And humans rarely got scared. The leader finally slammed his silver staff onto the ground, creating a loud echo. The sound forced the room into silence. We need information, the leader declared. Not fear. Humans do not move without purpose. We must find out what they are hiding. The council agreed. Quietly, secretly, and with growing fear. Within minutes, spy ships left the station. Cloaked drones flew toward human borders. Invisible communication channels connected old networks that had not been used in years. The galaxy began watching humans like never before. Far from the council hall, in deep space, a small spy ship approached a human colony. The ship belonged to the Krelar species, masters of stealth and secrets. They expected to see normal human activity, trade ships, research stations, mining units. But what they saw shook them. The human colony was surrounded by a ring of heavy ships. Massive machines floated around the planet, glowing with energy. They looked like giant shields or silent guardians. Why so many ships? The Krelar captain whispered. Humans rarely protected their worlds this heavily. Something was wrong. Another spy ship, this one from an insect-like species, reached a different human system. They found factories running day and night, twice as fast as usual. Giant machines carried strange materials. Human scientists hurried between glowing labs, their faces serious. What are they building? The spies asked themselves. Nobody knew. A third spy group found something even stranger. Near a distant asteroid field, humans were testing huge spherical devices, each one bigger than a cruiser. When activated, the devices created silent pulses that pushed entire asteroids away like leaves in the wind. That is gravity manipulation, one spy said in shock. Humans are bending gravity like it is nothing. Every spy returned with one message. Humans are preparing for something big. But what? Back at the council, the leaders gathered again. This time, fear sat with them like a cold shadow. The Krelar captain presented his report. Humans are fortifying their colonies. No normal species does this unless they expect an attack. The insect spies presented their findings. Factories are doubling output. They are building something powerful. Another spy reported, humans are testing new devices. Energy levels are beyond anything we have seen. More reports followed. More fear grew. This is not normal, a council member said quietly. This is preparation for war, another whispered. Or preparation for something worse, someone else added. The council leader stood slowly. His silver body rippled like water. We must speak to humans again. This time, they will not walk away. The council sent a high-priority message to the human ambassador, demanding answers. Hours passed. No reply. More hours. Still nothing. Some species grew angry. Others grew terrified. Then a soft tone echoed through the chamber, a message was finally arriving. The screen lit up with the human ambassador's face. But something was different now. His calm expression from earlier was gone. His eyes looked tired, worried, burdened. The council leader spoke first. Ambassador, we have witnessed strange activity in your systems. Heavy ship movement. Advanced technology tests. What is happening? Why are you preparing for something and refusing to tell us? The ambassador did not respond right away. He looked down, as if fighting with himself. Then he lifted his head. You sent spy ships into our territory, he said quietly. The entire chamber tensed. We had no choice, the leader replied. Your silence leaves us blind. The human ambassador sighed. You are afraid. I understand. But the danger you fear is not us. Then what? A delegate demanded. What danger? The ambassador hesitated. His voice dropped lower. We discovered a signal. The council members leaned forward. A signal? From where? Another species? A weapon? The ambassador's next words made the entire room cold. It came from outside our galaxy. Silence slammed into the chamber like a hammer. Outside the galaxy? Nothing should exist there, nothing alive, nothing intelligent, nothing at all. What kind of signal? The leader asked with a shaking voice. The ambassador looked away from the camera. For the first time, he seemed afraid to speak. It is not a message of peace, he said. And it is not a message of war. He paused. It is a warning. A ripple of terror spread across the chamber. A warning from who? A warning about what? The ambassador's eyes finally returned to the screen. His voice cracked slightly. Something is coming. The message ended. The screen went black. The council stared into the darkness, each of them feeling the same cold fear rising in their hearts. Humans were not preparing to fight the council. Humans were preparing to protect the galaxy. From something far worse. The message from the human ambassador echoed in every mind for hours. Something is coming. Those 3 words were enough to fill the entire Galactic Council with fear and confusion. No one slept. No one rested. Every species stayed awake, replaying the message again and again, trying to understand what humans had discovered. But no matter how many times they watched it, the feeling remained the same. The humans were afraid of something. And if humans were afraid, the galaxy should be terrified. The council called another emergency meeting. This time, the room felt different. There was no anger, no loud arguments. Only fear and suspicion. Every delegate sat with stiff posture and tense expressions. The council leader spoke first. We must contact the humans again. We need answers. But before anyone could agree, a sharp voice from the back shouted, humans are hiding too much. They cannot be trusted. A shadowy species with blue skin stood up. They say something is coming, but maybe this is all a trick. Maybe they want to scare us so they can gain power. Others nodded nervously. They refuse to share their technology. They prepare fleets in silence. They say a warning came from outside the galaxy. How do we even know they are telling the truth? Fear slowly turned into anger. Not loud anger, quiet, dangerous anger. Another species stood. Humans must be forced to reveal everything. If they don't talk, they might lead us all into disaster. But a soft, calm voice cut through the room. The humans are not fools. Everyone turned. It was the Orelise representative, a creature made of crystal and light. If they wanted war, they would not warn us. If they wanted control, they would not fear something beyond the galaxy. The others fell silent. The Orelise leaned forward, their body glowing softly. Think. Humans do not fear easily. If they are preparing all their worlds, if they are building new tech at this speed, if they refuse to share, then something far bigger must be coming. The silence grew heavier. But suspicion remained. Some species simply could not trust humans. Not after years of strange behavior. Not after the sudden refusal. Not after seeing human fleets gather in secret. So the council split into two groups. One wanted to talk to humans peacefully. The other wanted to pressure them. And while they argued quietly, the humans remained silent. Hours later, the human ambassador finally responded again. The screen lit up, showing his tired face. His eyes looked darker than before, like he hadn't slept. "We are aware of your attempts to gather information," he said calmly. "We know about your spy ships. We know about your scans." The council froze. Humans knew everything. "You must stop," the ambassador continued. "Your actions could cause panic. And panic will make the coming danger worse." The council leader leaned forward. "Then tell us the truth. What is coming?" The human ambassador paused again. His silence felt heavy, painful. "We are not ready to share that information," he said. The entire room erupted. "Not ready again? You cannot hide this. You will doom us all. Tell us what the danger is." But the ambassador stayed calm. Too calm. His voice was steady, almost emotionless. Sharing the truth right now would destroy the galaxy more than the danger itself. That sentence made the room freeze again. "How can truth be more dangerous?" a delegate whispered. The ambassador looked away from the camera. Behind him, screens flickered with strange symbols and patterns, like unknown data streams. "We are trying to understand the signal," he said. "It is not complete. We do not know how much time we have. We do not know how strong the threat is. If we reveal it now, before we understand it, every species will panic. That panic will lead to war between you, chaos in your systems, riots on your worlds." His voice lowered even more. "And in that chaos, the real threat will arrive." A cold fear spread across the chamber. The human ambassador continued, "You must trust us. You must stay calm. You must prepare your worlds quietly. And you must allow us time. Time." It was the one thing nobody knew they had. A reptilian general slammed his fist onto the table. "We cannot trust you blindly. You refuse to explain anything." The ambassador closed his eyes. "I know. And I am sorry." That simple apology shocked the entire room. Humans rarely apologized. The ambassador finally looked into the camera again. His voice was low, almost a whisper. "We are trying to protect you." The message ended. The screen went dark again. But this time, something felt different. The humans were not trying to be secretive. They were not trying to gain power. They were not trying to control the council. They were trying to protect the entire galaxy, from something they didn't fully understand. The council sat in stunned silence. Then, quietly, the Orleans representative said, "If humans are afraid to speak, then the danger must be unbelievable." Another species nodded. "But if humans are preparing, then that means they plan to fight it." A third whispered, "Fight what? What exists beyond the galaxy?" No one knew. But one thing was clear. The humans were preparing for a battle. And the galaxy had no idea what they were about to face. The council chamber stayed dark for a long time after the human ambassador's message ended. No one spoke. No one moved. The silence felt alive, like a cold shadow crawling over their skin. Every delegate had the same fear inside them now. What could possibly make humans this serious? Humans were brave, reckless, stubborn, and sometimes even foolish. They fought monsters, storms, and wars without fear. They were known for jumping into danger before thinking. And yet now, they were avoiding the truth. Something was wrong. Finally, the council leader broke the silence. "We must not panic. We must find the meaning behind this signal." But before he could continue, the hall lights flickered. A low hum echoed through the chamber. Delegates looked around, confused and uneasy. The translators buzzed. The screens glitched. Something strange was happening. "What is that sound? Is it a malfunction? Why are the screens freezing?" The council's main holodisplay suddenly blinked to life, showing a rotating image of deep space. A region far beyond the known borders. A place where stars were faint and thin like dust. "This is the location of the signal," the council's AI announced. The image zoomed in. A wave-like pattern appeared, dark, slow, and pulsing like a heartbeat. "What is that?" someone whispered. The AI answered, "Unknown. Not natural. Not created by known technology." A chill ran through the room. The signal pulsed again. Slow. Deep. Heavy. It felt wrong. A soft, glowing alien spoke. "It looks like a message." Another delegate cut in. "It looks like a warning." A third added, "It looks like something alive." As they watched, the pulse changed shape, becoming sharper, louder, more violent. The hall lights dimmed again. Several delegates covered their ears. Even with no sound, the signal felt like pressure inside their skulls. "Turn it off," someone shouted. But the signal kept playing. It could not be stopped. Then suddenly, everything froze. The pulse turned into a symbol. A huge, jagged shape. Like a claw. Or a mouth. Or a fracture in space. The council members stared at it with horror. What kind of species makes a symbol like that? Is it a language? Is it a threat? The AI tried to decode it, but the moment it touched the symbol, the entire chamber's power systems overloaded. Sparks shot from lights. Screens cracked. The floor shook. "Shut it down. Cut the feed. Turn it off." The display vanished, leaving the room in dark silence again. Delegates trembled. Something was wrong with that signal. Very wrong. Before anyone could recover, a calm voice echoed through the hall. It was the human ambassador. His hologram appeared suddenly, without warning, standing in the center of the chamber. "You accessed the signal," he said quietly. The council leader stood up. "You knew we would." "Yes," the ambassador said. "And now you understand." "No," a delegate whispered. "We do not understand anything. That symbol, that pulse, what is it?" The ambassador's shoulders lowered, as if carrying a heavy weight. Behind him, faint lights from a war room flickered, maps, energy readings, warnings, countdowns. "This," the ambassador said softly, is why we refuse to share our technology. The delegates leaned in. Their hearts pounded. The signal, the human continued, is not from another species. Confusion spread across the delegates' faces. Then what is it? A weapon? A natural phenomenon? The ambassador shook his head. It is something older than any species in the galaxy. A cold wave of fear swept through the room. It destroyed 3 ancient civilizations before history began, the ambassador said. Delegates gasped. It travels between galaxies. It consumes stars. It corrupts planets. It does not communicate. It does not negotiate. It does not stop. Voices trembled. How do you know this? How did humans find the signal? Why did they hide it? The ambassador looked down. We were not the first to receive the signal. The council froze. There was another species, he continued. We found a record from them. A warning. It took our best scientists months to translate it. The message was simple. His voice dropped to a whisper. If you hear the pulse, it has already found you. The entire room fell silent. Found them? Now. Already? A creature made of feathers trembled. You mean, the danger is heading toward the galaxy? The ambassador nodded slowly. It is coming toward us at a speed we cannot stop. Another delegate shouted, then why hide this? Why not tell us from the start? The human ambassador's eyes were dark and tired. Because the moment we speak its name, the galaxy will fall into fear. Planets will riot. Species will blame each other. Armies will fire before thinking. And in that chaos, we will lose before the threat even arrives. He wasn't threatening them. He was telling the truth. The ambassador's voice softened. We needed time. To build. To study. To prepare. Prepare for what? The leader whispered. The ambassador looked at the broken screens, the dark hall, the frightened faces. For a war none of us are ready for. His hologram flickered. And before it vanished, he said one last thing, so quiet, yet so powerful the entire chamber felt it in their bones. Do not fear humans refusing to share technology. Fear the reason why. The hall fell into deep silence. A silence carrying the weight of doom. The council chamber felt colder than ever. Every delegate still trembled from the human ambassador's final words. No one dared speak. No one dared breathe. The pulse signal still echoed in their minds, like a memory they did not want to remember. The humans had not refused technology out of pride. They refused it out of fear. Fear of something older. Something bigger. Something unstoppable. Finally, the council leader rose slowly from his seat. His silver body shimmered weakly, like metal under stress. We must speak with the humans again, he said in a low voice. We cannot face this threat alone. The chamber murmured in agreement, but the fear remained. Before they could send a message, the hall lights suddenly flickered again. A deep rumble shook the floor. Delegates gripped the edges of their seats. What now? Is the station under attack? The signal again. A new hologram appeared in the center of the room, not the ambassador, but a human scientist in a dark lab coat. Her expression was tense, sharp, and focused. This is Dr. Ilara Stone of the Human Science Fleet, she announced. You are receiving this message because we have run out of time. The words hit like a hammer. Run out of time, a delegate repeated. What do you mean? Dr. Stone didn't wait. The pulse signal changed frequency, she said. It is no longer far away. It has reached the edge of our galaxy. Shock spread across the chamber like wildfire. What? Now? Already? How is that possible? Dr. Stone turned slightly, revealing a massive screen behind her. It showed a map of the galaxy with a glowing red edge. It is here, she said. At the border. Our telescopes detected distortions in spacetime. Something huge is pushing through. A small species with wings let out a frightened cry. But the council detected nothing. We know, Dr. Stone said. It bypassed your sensors. It bypassed ours too. But when the pulse hit the edge of the Milky Way, it created a wound. Wound? What kind of wound? You mean like a tear? Dr. Stone zoomed in. The screen showed darkness. Not empty darkness, living darkness. Something that swallowed light and bent space. Something enormous. We call it the Rift Maw, she said quietly. It opens when the entity is near. The chamber shook again, louder this time. Delegates looked around in panic. Is that the Maw? Is it affecting our station? Are we safe? But Dr. Stone did not answer their questions. We tried to stop it, she continued. We fired probes. We fired energy beams. We released decoys. Nothing slowed it down. Nothing, the council leader whispered. Dr. Stone's voice softened. Our technology is not meant to stop it. Only survive it. Another tremor hit the station, this time stronger. Panels fell from the ceiling. Lights flickered. The air shook. Delegates screamed. Is it attacking us? It found us already. Help. Someone stabilize the station. But Dr. Stone shook her head. No. That is not the entity. Everyone froze. Dr. Stone looked directly at the camera, fear in her eyes. That is your star reacting to the pulse. The council gasped. Our star. How can a signal affect a star? What kind of creature can do that? Dr. Stone's voice cracked slightly. One that does not care about planets, or species, or anything that lives. The chamber went silent again. A quiet, painful silence. Dr. Stone continued, the humans have sent their fleets to the border. We are building shields around vulnerable worlds. But it will not be enough. The council leader finally spoke, his voice shaking. Then what do you expect us to do? Dr. Stone's expression hardened. Prepare. The leader swallowed. Prepare for what? Dr. Stone slowly stepped aside, revealing the screen fully. On the screen, a massive shadow slid into view. Not a ship. Not a creature. Not a machine. Something shapeless. Something shifting. Something impossibly large. It blocked 7 stars at once. Council members gasped and covered their mouths. What is that? How can anything be that big? It's bigger than a moon. No, bigger than a planet. Is that alive? The shadow pulsed. Then, for the first time, the chamber heard a sound. A low, deep, terrifying vibration. Not loud. But heavy. Heavy like the heartbeat of a god. Delegates froze in horror. Dr. Stone whispered, this is only the first part of it. The shadow kept growing. Expanding. Unfolding. It is not here to talk, she said. It is not here to negotiate. And it is not here to stop. Delegates trembled, unable to look away. Dr. Stone's final words hit them like a blow. Humans refuse to share their technology because the real danger is not the entity. The council leader, shaking, asked, then, what is the real danger? Dr. Stone looked directly into the camera. Her voice was almost a whisper. The real danger is what follows it. The screen went black. The station shook again, hard. Lights died. Sirens screamed. Delegates grabbed onto anything they could. Everyone felt the same fear. This was only the beginning.